Yeah.
Obviously, one of the things that led Doc to become the vampire was that he kind of put his heart out there and Wynonna rejected him a little bit. Well, why was Wynonna so reluctant to, like, take Doc? I mean, he kind of laid it all out and just said he wanted her to love him, and why was she unable to take that step, I guess?
Now you're asking me to remember things.
Well, I'll say this. I think people say that, and I love that people did. They have that view of stuff. P.S. I love all of your brains, and more importantly, your hearts, because you watch our show and you see stuff and get messages from it that I don't sometimes see on the paper.
Yeah.
And then it's beautiful to see your reactions and the way you get from stuff, because then it kind of re-inspires the same thing. And it's kind of like, I love that people said, oh, well, you know, Doc, he got rejected by Wynonna, because I didn't write it, because had I written it, he would have waited. You know what I mean? There wouldn't have, he would have waited a million years. That's what he did. He's Doc. He's going to wait for Wynonna. I still think he is. But I think it was amazing that everybody said, oh yeah, but he got rejected because now I'm on that team. But I didn't see that until I heard it. And I'm like, yeah, she rejected the poor guy.
So what was your take on it?
I said, what's he give a shit for? Wait for the girl. 2 seconds later, you turn into a vampire? But my other reason
Tim's on fire. This is wonderful. We don't have to say a single thing. Like, he's just totally amazing.
Well, last week was heavy. My other thing is, like, Doc's kind of useless. In the sense that, like,
His bullets don't work.
Well, one of them. But no, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh shit, there's a bad thing, and Doc's like, and she's like, poof, it's dead, and they're like, yeah, we got it. Like, you can't do much, and I think, you know, with him becoming mortal, and then Alice was the game changer for me. It was like literally, it just became 2 different shows in the sense of how that's what he cares about. He only cared about himself, and now he only cares about that. So, yeah, of course, Wynonna. But, so I think that was the other reason. He just didn't think. He just thought about Alice and what could he do with at least a vamp. There's an aspect of power there, and unfortunately, I think he's too weak as a man to just be a man, and he needed that power. So unfortunately, he made that choice. Now he's stuck with it. What's that?
No self-confidence. That's Doc.
150 years in a well, guys. It's gonna get to anybody.
It is though. It's like it's a big. You had this. Doc had this like pass on life. Like he had this agelessness. Like he didn't have to worry about anything, and all of a sudden now he's like, can I walk out the house? Can I like? Yeah. So it does make. I'm not defending Doc. He's an idiot, but it does. It does. If you want to play that game, you could conceivably understand why he would want it back.
I'm sorry. No, I'm name am I the only one who saw that maybe he would have done it to be around for Alice as well? Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry. That don't make sense, but what I meant to say was that.
Being Alice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while Doc obviously loves Wynonna, another great love with Doc is Jeremy. So we know what Wynonna thinks of Doc being a vampire, but any hints as to what Jeremy's reaction to his great love Doc becoming a vampire might be?
Oh, God, what do I even say about that? Tim, do you want to give me a long
Well,
I think, you know, your heroes eventually turn into villains, right? I think that's kind of Jeremy held Doc as a heroic figure in his life, and I think you're going to see something change. Right? Is that spoilery? No?
I think you're forgetting a very important ingredient to this smoothie.
What? Oh,
Robin.
You got lame dessert.
Lasers on our show.
Oh, you're in.
I feel like I'm trying to dodge lasers answering this question. I don't know.
Okay, I'll save it.
Their relationship changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like it changed when the hot guy showed up who's like,
Yes.
Mud.
But I feel like it changed into like a beautiful like mentor-mentee kind of relationship, older brother. It's like less about the crush anymore. Like now they really are kind of good friends, like really warm friends. I mean, Jeremy's gonna try once in a while. Yeah, now they're like very much like, I feel like older brother, younger brother relationship.
So talking about episodes where you're reading into a different meaning into them, I know a lot of people, the Jolene episode was very powerful for them and how it dealt with depression. And Dom, you obviously had, that was a very big episode for you, and you and Zoe were amazing in that episode. So. I know you talked a little on the behind the scenes thing about filming that major scene with Zoe in the greenhouse, but I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about what that was like to film.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Zoe Palmer is amazing, as we all know. And it was very cold, and we were in the greenhouse, and I was so nervous about that scene. I remember, and it was one of the first scenes that Zoe and I had filmed, and so I was like, "Oh, this person," you know. It's always like getting to know a new person on the set and stuff. And she was very wonderful, but she was like kept herself to herself the entire time, and was like waiting on the other side of the room until action called, and then she was just like, she came in and she gave it like 120%. But to be honest with you, it was quite hard. It was quite hard to film, and a lot of the crew actually found it really, really difficult to watch, and there was a very kind of intense atmosphere throughout the whole of the scene, because I think a lot of people also can relate to that. I think a lot of people can, you know, the voices in your head, and she was really, she did such a beautiful job of not giving me an option but to listen, and it was just like, fucking shut up, like, stop. And we had a beautiful bit of correspondence after the episode, because she was like, I'm so proud of us for that scene, because it was like we had to really reach new levels that you don't always do in acting. So yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
So part of that Jolene episode was that Jolene picked the perfect dessert to give each of your characters. So I was just wondering, like, if you agreed with the choice. I know, like, Doc had snickerdoodles and Hot had, like, the lemon poppy seed. Or I guess the other question is, if Jolene existed, what dessert would she pick for each of you guys?
Oh, for us in real
Yeah, for you in real life. Sorry.
Ooh. I already have one time I made it, and it was, I almost died. So it's like 7 layers. You can take this and serve it in your restaurant if you will. It was 7 layers. It was like, there was brownie, then like cheesecake, then cookie dough.
Oh my God.
It was like a s'more cookie dough brownie death by dessert thing. And it was, that would be it.
Actually, feel sick just hearing that.
Well, first of all, I was disappointed in Snickerdoodles because there's no Snickers in Snickerdoodles. It's like a really dry peanut butter cookie. But they did actually do like research, and Snickerdoodles existed back in Doc's day, so mad respect for that. I think I'm pretty simple. You can't beat a good turtle.
Yeah. I love turtles.
Oh, it's fancy. There's caramel caramel pecans. Delicious.
I wouldn't say fancy. Fancy for Pharma Plus.
Fancy chocolates after they ate some freaking turtles. That's it.
I might go for a chocolate fondue.
But it would have to be vegan chocolate, obviously.
I'm gonna go for a good old apple pie.
Oh, nice.
Yes, but then that's apple pie we had in Calgary, where they put cheddar cheese swirling in the crust. You don't really taste it. It's like a sneaky cheddar cheese attack.
I'm a chef, and I know that's big in America, is like real aged cheddar on their pies. It's something they do a lot in the Midwest. If you have like a really sharp old aged cheddar, like extra old, it can work. But when I see people do it like processed cheese, I'm like, you're ruining apples.
Thank you for that.
It's probably delicious.
So another fun episode that just happened was the Christmas episode.
Yeah, real fun.
Isn't that the one where you banged your wife? Seemed like fun from where I was sitting. You guys killed that. Yeah, I see it.
Somebody please pull the fire alarm.
No, ooh, such a sad life, having to get naked with hot girls.
To be fair, you rejected him again in that episode. Like, you just wanted a kiss under the mistletoe.
I kissed him! I did! To shut him up, I kissed him.
Sorry, Tim, I'm trying. But what was it like filming the Christmas episode? Because you guys are there in the winter, I guess. It's probably not right at Christmas, but that was something fun. You had to know that the fans would get a lot of like joy out of seeing you guys at Christmas, I guess. Just if you could talk a little bit about that episode.
It was super fun. I remember us going into the read-through, and like Emily seemed the most excited about doing a Christmas episode. She was just so happy that finally sci-fi let her do it.
Sweater.
I was wearing a Christmas sweater. Yeah, and she wanted us to like tweet it and promote it like beforehand because I mean it's a special thing when you get to do a Christmas special on your television show, and so we all kind of felt that Christmas joy when we were reading it in the read-through.
I didn't. Because it was like February. So we had just done real Christmas. And I was like, I'm over it. But then watching it, I thought it was one of our best.
The homestead was lovely.
Yeah.
Walking into the homestead and being like, oh, this is really nice.
Can I say the outfits on the Christmas show were fantastic?
You can say that.
We had nothing to do with it, but
Well, you got to wear them.
yes, true. That
It's
was
called Jack.
Yeah, you got a onesie like that.
You cannot buy that. They custom made that onesie. I had fittings. Yeah, dude, it was like it was the most elaborate. They're like, here, put on this sweater from Sirens, but then the onesie, and they're like, well, and they like bring out the tailor from France.
France Taylor sounds like it's in your budget.
Did you keep
France
the
Calgary.
Christmas sweater that lights up?
no, I should have done.
Oh.
I know, rookie mistake. Rookie
Rookie
mistake.
mistake.
I had a jean jacket. I wore the same jean jacket
Turn
last
into a
episode.
vampire. Stop it.
I'm proud for you. But part of the Christmas episode that was nice was the Earp girls got to like celebrate with their mom, but now she's gone again. She just left this last episode. So can you guys like just talk a little about what her leaving does to Wayverly and Wynonna, and can they ever trust her again?
I vote no. What do you think? Like, would you trust this situation?
I think Waverly does everything in her power to give her excuses.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I think I do not.
That's also a really good answer. Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's the whole, for Wynonna, it's the whole, she's just essentially abandoned her own daughter. I think that's how she feels. I don't think that's what she did. But, and then her mother is doing it again. And it's that vicious cycle of like, am I turning into her? Am I going to be crazy? Am I going to be an awful mother? So I think for Wynonna, it's probably just another sort of stab in the heart and the brain.
Too much to have like a reflection back of the things that you're doing. It's like too painful to see. And for Wavy, I just think that she was so sure that it was just going to be a happy family for a while, and then it's just like yet another heartbreaking thing to have to come to terms with. But it probably just brings us stronger.
Exactly.
Makes us stronger.
And the one thing Mama did do is sort of let us know how proud she was of what we've created.
Exactly.
And I think that is we can't count on her, but we can count
That's
on
the
each
takeaway.
other.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Wayverly's finally getting like real answers about from Mama about like her father and everything. So what does that mean for Wayverly to get those answers, and like what is she going to do with that information? I guess. Sorry, I tried to
That's
sneak
a
that.
good question. I think she will get to the bottom of it. She's a clever cookie, that one. She'll find out what's going on, I think. Don't you?
Guys, we have to fill an hour.
Well, she has a name now, Julian, so that's really exciting. And
There's like one Julian in the phone book.
for sure, right? Come on, easy peasy. But yeah, I'm really, 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 really looking forward to you guys seeing the rest of the season. It's there's some great family stuff coming up, and what's going on? Did I say something else?
No, it's it. I'm excited for what's coming.
It's good. It's really good. Yes.
But while we're giving Doc a hard time, I guess Mama was someone. It was fun to see Doc and Mama get paired together in the last episode, I thought. So Tim, I mean, I know Melanie and Don have been asked a lot about what it was like to work with Megan, but what was it like for you to get to like share those scenes with her, and why do you think Mama came so hard for Doc?
Well, the super cool thing is the first scene that I shot with her was the bar fight. That was the first scene that I shot with her on set, and like watched the scene, and like I turn around and she's smashing bottles and slapping me in the face, and I'm like, yeah, this is the only person who could have been Mama Earp. and I do remember when we were doing our scenes, we may or may not have had the direction to turn the heat down.
Is there anybody you will not fornicate?
We were flirting in a
Why? That wasn't the note. It wasn't in the script. You decided that.
She was awesome, and in all honesty, it was really fun to watch her work. And like you said before, she has a process. Everyone has a different process, but Megan's process is really interesting to watch. And you watch her discover things sometimes during the scene as it's happening, and I can see it happening in her moment. And you're like, whoop, we're going there, so I'm going to go with it because she's made this choice of this is where we're taking this little beat in the scene, and it's super fun to come in.
She lets you into her process.
Yeah, it's great. I really, really liked it. We didn't get enough. It was super good. And it was fun.
You mentioned the bar fight scene. I think that was a favorite for a lot of fans because you guys all kind of got involved in it Oh, sorry, Bird. Yeah, just like, what was your favorite part of that fight, and what was it like? Because that had to be like such a big orchestration to get everything happening in that scene.
I remember Paolo said, was like super surprised at how much like anger I had inside me. He's like, oh, like our director, who's this amazing, lovely French man, I'm sure everyone knows about him. And he was like, hey, so you're obviously going to like go over the table, like at her, and then she's going to hold you back, and like we did it. He literally stopped and was like, oh my god, I was so surprised. He was like, I would not want to get in a fight with you. I've never actually fought anyone in real life. So I think it was like everything coming out in that moment of just like, what would you do? Have you ever fought anyone?
I have a long fuse, but when you get to the end of it, there's an explosion. So silly.
Speaking of surprises, I guess, has your character ever done anything that's like really surprised you when you read it? Oh, yeah.
Every
Everyone
episode? Every
So
episode?
what's the most?
Can I take one step backwards? The bar fight thing?
Oh, yeah.
I do remember there was like, for the first time ever, props came over and they just had like breakaway bottles. So there was like a bunch of breakaway beer bottles and a breakaway vodka bottle, a breakaway whiskey bottle. And they're like, okay, so we're going to shoot, and these three guys, you can hit them with any of those. But only those three dudes and any of these. And that's like the most freedom I've ever had in any scene. And I'm just like, who am I going to hit? What am I going to hit them with? It was like so exciting. They're like, all right, I'm going to hit that guy with the beer bottle if I have enough time. That guy's going to get the whiskey bottle. And I say action, and I go to grab the bottle, smash that in my hand. That's not going to work. Go and grab the thing, and I'm like, wrong guy! So the whole thing didn't work, but I was really excited for a minute.
Did you get hurt when they did the
Oh, dragging across the counter.
Different episode.
Yes, but I think she's asking a question.
Has it
regardless of
been out?
that.
Has it been out?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was in
okay.
episode.
Dominic!
Sorry.
But I was
checking, you guys.
Yeah.
Did that hurt? I don't remember what episode. I just remember the bar.
I just remember feeling like a lot of low self-esteem because everyone's laughing at me. That was I just kept, but it doesn't hurt too much. Like when they have this strap around you, and we also had
Called
it
a
when
strap on.
It's a professional thing. We had that also for the wire pulling in episode 7 last year, and and eventually it just like really tires you. That constant.
The strap on.
Yeah, the strap on. Yeah, you take a beating.
Welcome to brunch, Peru.
Staying with Varun, I guess you and Dom have had some really fun scenes this year. I think a lot of people like that Wayverly and Jeremy are getting paired up. I know you guys are like close off screen. Was that something like, did they talk with you guys about doing that, or is that something they just maybe saw and started writing for more, or I guess?
I think that's absolutely something they saw and started writing for.
I feel like both of us were like, Wayverly and Jeremy should be best friends. Like,
I kept pitching Emily like Troy and Abed of like the one. But even like that one scene with the gnome being taped up, like, Dom was so mad. But I was laughing the whole time, and they couldn't get a single take where I wasn't laughing because it was just so much fun doing it. Like when we act together, it's just ridiculous.
yeah, it gets out of control.
It's out of control.
tricky.
Dom's very professional. I'm not.
But to be honest with you, I hadn't even realized how many scenes we had until we've been watching it now.
Yeah, we've got a lot coming up.
Usually because we film them all on the same day if they're in the same location. like, so we would have just done them back to back to back, so it's probably just like one day's filming, but when they're all kind of spread out, it's like, oh, we have some really lovely stuff together.
Yeah, it's super fun.
So I think we're going to take a little bit of fan questions. So if anybody has a question, maybe I guess in the green hat, you just have to yell it out.
So last year we were able to see the Carmelo panel because Dominique, you did amazing in that movie.
Thank you.
I personally, while sitting in that panel, my friend and I wished for a Wynonna panel, so we're so glad we have you in Toronto this year outside of ACON. What I wanted to ask you guys that I had asked the Carmelo cast is, if you were not cast as your character, who would you want to be?
Who would you want to be? Mercedes or Kate? No, that was not my final. It came out my mouth and I disagreed.
Oh, that was a good answer.
Yeah,
Guys, remember how Doc's a vampire? What the heck?
Over to the entire cast as well, so Varun, Tim, and Melanie.
It used to be Bobo, hands down. I just would have loved to have played Bobo. But now, hands down, without a doubt, I want to be Wynonna Earp.
It used to be Tim, like Doc, without a doubt, hands down, 100%. But now that he's a vampire, I have to say Nedley.
No,
He's
no,
the best.
that's
I have to answer now. I would.
You'd be a great Bunny Loblaw.
I think I would. I think I would. I would just try to make. Yeah. Sure, I'll take that.
Thank you.
So, Dom, you've danced for 2 seasons now. My question is, yeah, well, we all enjoyed that. My question is, what was different in Wayverly's mind from the cheerleading to the Santa dance?
Actually, I've been quite looking forward to talking about this, believe it or not, because it was a funny one. When I read it on the page, I was really adamant that I didn't do it like the cheerleading dance, where it was like rehearsed and polished and perfect. I'm not saying that my cheerleading was perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you know what I mean. But when I read it on the page, I was really, I thought it was really important to not make it unrealistic. And what I mean by that is I think it's important to tell the truth in those situations. And in order to make it like in line with the feminist show that we are on, I was like, I don't want this to be misrepresented in the sense that if it was all perfect and, you know, with bells on, then perhaps people that were watching it would be like, oh, if I do that for my girlfriend, and then it doesn't go that well, you know what I mean? Then you would feel like there's something wrong with you. So it was really important to me that we told the truth. And the truth is that when you come out looking like that, you feel like a bit of a knob, like for sure, like definitely. And there's a lot of crew that were there, and I was so incredibly nervous, like more nervous than I've ever been from anything. And so I just decided to use that in everything and just say, well, this is how Wayverly would feel, and none of those lines were in it where I'm like, oh my god, you hate it! Like, that was not what was written, but we decided to play with that, and Kat played along perfectly, and then it became that scene. So it was very different to how it was originally written. And I've forgotten what your question was, but I hope that answered it slightly.
My question was Wayverly's take on it, like where the difference between like Wayverly cheerleading for Nicole
Right.
and the
just that the one of them she'd been doing since she was 16 years old, at, you know, in front of all of the
football players.
Wayne Gretzky. But yeah, so.
Thank you.
For Melanie and Tim, so if Wynonna and Doc kept the baby, how do you think it would have went with the parenting? Could you see Doc changing diapers and giving up in the middle of the night and doing all of those housewife when you were out?
He would be the housewife.
I'm sorry, I just turned you into
100%. I mean, I seem to remember the end of season 1 with someone wanting to grow barley and move to a little place, and that's what he wants. That's all he wants is to play house and raise a little baby, and just, I mean, I think if Doc ever does get mortal again, that's his end game, is to die.
Like have a normal
Have
life.
just a family and be off, and no more demon hunting, no more, enough. I mean, he was killing 150 years ago, then he had 150 years in a well by himself. Now he's dealing with other crap. He's ready to do one good thing with his life, and I think he would dedicate his entire existence to that. I think
so
he would.
The whole vampire thing was an oops.
There was a bit of an oops.
You know, we don't all make good choices.
A bit of an oops. P.S. Season 2, when I was on set doing something, I caught Dominique practicing for the Wayverly scene, but she didn't see me, and I saw her, and it was the cutest thing ever. I didn't know about other sets. But I didn't say anything. I didn't bug her because as an actor, you're just like, fuck. It's just because you know she was nervous and getting ready to do it, but I saw her.
On that note, our trailers are connected.
Oh no!
And it was like, just like this constant. It was like, I'm pretty sure she's not having sex. I so much I was so excited when that was over.
You're like,
yeah.
Speaking of sex, look, Wynonna is. Yeah, she's with this fireman guy, and doesn't she know maybe don't trust the firemen that are in purgatory? And I guess what is happening with her and Charlie? I guess what I think I know what she's getting from that relationship. But I guess can you just like preview why she is drawn in by him and maybe what's going to happen there? Because I think a lot of people don't trust him. Yeah.
I think just you look at him and you just sort of. That's my answer. No, but he does look super normal and sort of dumb. like I think Wynonna just wants something easy and uncomplicated, and like he's eager and he's like he's you know. I think that's always, as we know, been one of her valves that she releases pressure with, and so she's definitely going off some steam, so to speak. But also, there's no. It's it's easy. It's like he gives her that slice of normal that she's craving because somebody else is a vampire. That's
along, you mentioned Bunny Loblaw, and you guys have had Jan Arden and Zoe Palmer, and then Chantel has joined the cast this year. I guess I was just wondering what your favorite maybe guest star or like side character that has come in is, and that you've got to play with, or maybe even ones you guys haven't had scenes with, but that you just really like a favorite side character.
I mean, everybody, we're so lucky that everybody comes and they're so ready to play. And I mean, Jan Arden, and then we made her the horriblest person in the world, and like Zoe I had known before, so I was super happy to have Zoe.
Justin is wonderful.
Oh yeah, Robin's fantastic. But honestly, for me, I'd say the smaller parts, the Calgary actors, we've had some great ones. You know, Levi, Fish, and there are a lot of theater actors in Calgary, so all the kids come, and they're just ready to, because our show's insane. Like, imagine, at least we get a bunch of scripts. If you have a smaller part and you get one script and you don't know what this show's about, I mean, you know what I mean? And everyone just comes to play, and I think it's really nice.
I love Chantal.
Yeah.
I like, as a person, I think she's just so cool and brought like such a great energy. But also I don't think people talk enough about the fact that I got that girl on our show. That was, yeah.
I had no idea.
I read this
Please
script,
tell.
like, I know who that is. I know. And then, yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't, she's the one who, she got herself the job. We're being honest, but I loved her. I worked with her on Frankie Drink. And I was like, I know the perfect, and thank God she didn't turn out to be a disaster, because that's why you don't get your friends' jobs, because you're like, if you guys hate them, that's on me. Look at the lady crawling, it's growling. Anyway, so growling. And I love her, but I love Kate as well. Like, I do think I wanted to hate her. I was ready to hate her, and then your scene with her was like, where she just was like, I need you. I was like, I get it. Yeah, okay, you can have it. Like, so good. She's so good and has so much depth, and so I love her as a person, but also her character as a friend.
Yeah, we had a lot of chemistry from
Shut up! You can tell. You don't need to tell us what we see.
Just speaking quick of chemistry too, was Jeremy and Robin had it right away. I think. But we haven't got to see much of them together, but what we've seen is really cute. Are we gonna get to like see that relationship build out some more? I mean, I know he like coughed up the dirt and everything, but
yeah, I think you're gonna see it blossom. Like, so conscious of my hands because Belle's gonna make it dirty somehow. You're gonna see it blossom into, I think, something quite beautiful. It's like a very, Jeremy's such a socially awkward guy. I don't think he knows how to function in a relationship, and I think that's kind of a lot of people who are socially awkward don't know how to navigate a relationship by like the rules that society tells us to do it. Like, it has to be kind of super perfect, and I think you're going to see Robin and Jeremy kind of navigate in their own awkward, cute way of what the relationship means to them, and it blossoms into something very nice.
go back to the fan questions.
I have a two-part question. This was for Dominique. How is meeting the cast of Red Brazil and the actresses from the Western series?
That's so nice.
I have been in contact with them, and I saw this like, oh my God, Dominique's gonna be here. I'm freaking out. And you know, I saw that with going into Cat there as well, and I was just like, wow. I was like, wait, like I'm blown. Yeah, I got permission from Germana and the whole guys over there to film this, and I was just super stoked. And the second part of the question, so we were on this too much, but and all the, maybe this is a question that you always get constant, but what is your favorite out of the 3 seasons so far in Wynonna Earp that you truly love, and or something that you want to play off again in chemistry, or have a cast member? I have a feeling like what the answers might be, but I just want to get a sense all across the way.
For a moment or a
yeah, a moment or a scene or something. It doesn't have to be one. It could be 2 or 3.
Well, I'll answer your first part of the question first, because for anybody who doesn't know, there's a wonderful web series called Red, and 2 of the actors I met in Brazil, and they were the kindest human beings and took us around and showed us good time in Brazil, which is good. And it's actually really funny because Anna, who was I met in Rio, and then Lou we met in, no, other way around, Sao Paulo, and then Rio we met Lou. And it was really funny because Kat really connected with Anna, and I really connected with Lou as people, but like crazy, to the point where when I met Lou, we were sat at the end of the table just talking, and I felt like we have the same soul. It was the most bizarre thing, and I'm in contact with her now because I really felt like I was supposed to meet her on my journey at that particular point, and she's a little older than me, and she's got all her hair all short and gorgeous, and I remember being like, I want to cut all my hair. Everyone's going to kill me. Yeah.
I'm sure the rest of these guys are going, no.
No, I know, and it's interesting. We've had a lot of contact over the past couple of months because, she really helped me with just saying I used to be like you and worry way too much about everything I couldn't control, and you just have to kind of let go. And she's wonderful. So yeah, really, really amazing time, and very, very excited to see them again in Spain. I think Love Fan Fest. So yeah, we've already like, should we just go a couple of days early and just like chill in Barcelona together? So yeah, really, really nice.
Thank you.
The end of 307 was the scene for me, the one we just did with Mel and I. And no, I would never want to do it again. And I mean that in the best way possible and worst way possible.
Did it hurt a lot?
Emotionally or physically?
The scene just needed to happen, and it happened at a good time. Because don't forget, like at that point, we're halfway through the season. I've been alone for a while. I'm in Calgary. I haven't got more scripts yet. I know my character's going through a lot. I know I'm going through a lot with the Wynonna character, and I don't know where I'm at as an actor. I'm lost. So and I just didn't know what's coming, and I just needed that scene to happen because I needed to get some stuff out, and I needed some stuff to happen to me that I felt I deserved also. So the scene just needed to happen, and it was perfect time because it was like mid-season, and then it was kind of like, all right, well now I'll go into the second part of the season with this has happened, and we're done, and let's see what happens. And it was scary and crazy, and I had the best partner a person can have for that scene.
I would second that. I think it was funny because Josh emailed, I think, both of us and was like, I can't wait to see what you guys do with the end of 307. Yeah. And I hadn't even read it, and I'm like, what happens? And then I read it, and I was like, oh, that's a lot of pressure, like, because it's such a beautiful scene. And I think most actors, when you see a scene that's so beautiful, it's probably how you felt with the one with Zoe, where you just like, how am I going to do justice to this? Like, I know I can, but I don't know if in that moment, I'm like, we're like racehorses. We get freaked, and then we can't get back. Like, you know what I mean? It's true. Like, we're either going to perform or we're just going to, like, get spooked. And, yeah, it was the same, like, just, I was very lucky that Tim said, the camera was on me, but you don't see my hand, so I didn't have to slap him. And I was like, okay, I'll just go like this, like just let me put my hand out. And he's like, no, Mel, I'm very even emotional thinking about it, but he's like, you need to hit me, like you need that. And it was just very generous as an actor to do that, because I actually, for you guys, you wouldn't have known. But he knew that I needed to hurt him so that it would to hurt myself in order to be able to get to where I needed to be. And so I'm very grateful to Tim for that. And I know I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, the end of 307 also affected me, and I wasn't even in it.
There's a little fan back there that has a question. Yes. Yep. It's a whole thing. We have a lady, her name is Jodie Thompson, and she is a real life cowgirl, and she did a little movie called The Revenant, for which she is nominated for an Oscar, and she works very hard running after me. Every time I just go like this,
And she's like, oh. She comes in and she's like, you know I love you, but you have to stop moving. And she's about 4 feet tall. And so I always have to get down for her. And it's all thanks to her. That's a great question. That's all I have to say.
Okay, over. Yeah, with the glasses.
Yeah. My question is, if you could take any fictional character from any other universe and bring them into Wynonna Earp, who would you pick and why?
I missed the first part because you had an accent.
Sorry. It happens. If you could take any fictional character from any other universe.
Okay.
I'd bring someone from the Harry Potter universe.
Oh my god, Hermione! You know, you would fight, I think, it would be so good. Yes! And then we would both be, like, trying to, like, no. Yeah. No, that's why it would be so good.
Fair.
That would
okay,
be
fair.
compelling drama.
Yeah. Good one.
Constantine. That would be perfect. Wynonna and John Constantine.
Oh, yes.
Yes!
That Ryan and you together would cause every bisexual to just.
That was my answer.
Okay, like 2 more quick ones.
Do you guys have a bucket list? If so, is there anything on it that you would talk about at the con?
Ooh. In real life?
Yes.
Interesting. Not really. Is that
You just said cool, like you had one.
I think I was excited to hear your answers.
Oh.
I mean, I don't want to be cheesy, but my bucket list would be to be able to play Doc Holliday on the sci-fi show, and now I get to. I don't know, I kind of like...
It is tough.
No, but like, I peaked. The best that's ever, far exceeded any expectations I had. So, it's not much jumping out of a plane because they can do it.
Yeah. You talk a lot about retiring in a white suit.
Yeah,
With a
Florida.
club sandwich.
We're all white and I live in Florida. I'm going to have one little hard-boiled egg. Little fancy containers for my hard-boiled egg. Then I'm going to have half a grapefruit. Then I'm going to go to the golf course and come home at 5 o'clock and watch reruns and fall asleep.
Wait, what part of Florida are you planning on going to?
Clearwater. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's great. It's quiet. That bridge goes across. Not that many people get over there.
Where's your wife?
She's with me.
Where?
Horses around all over Clearwater.
Yeah.
Wow. Everywhere.
You thought it through.
I don't know. Okay, one more. We'll go way in the back with the orange shirt. Sorry.
Woo!
It's cool.
Oui, on peut parler français maintenant, ça va être...
You're dead.
Ma famille est francophone. J'ai beaucoup de familles à Montréal. J'ai beaucoup de familles au Québec et à Québec.
J'aimerais ça, oui, s'il te plaît.
Do you speak French, Maroon?
Je ne comprends pas.
You know who does a great fake French? Shamir Anderson. But he's so good at faking it that you are like, you are a Frenchman. He's like, I don't know what I just said.
Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank the cast.
Really?
Hey, clap.
You know, like
Standing ovation?
post-coital.
I told us we were gonna watch a video. You guys saw the video.
It was a video though.
What was it?
It was
bloopers.
clips and it even had the scene you were
Bloopers,
talking about
bloopers.
right at the end.
Everything from last episode.
Hey, thank